This is Jonathan Aggoff here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Harlem Eubank. It's fight week at last. You and Tyrone McKenna go at it at the Brighton Centre this Friday night. Harlem, you excited? You must be to be back in the ring on Friday.
I can't wait. Perfect timing, bringing a big fight like this back to Brighton, my home city. It's humbling. You know, there's been a buzz around the city, and to bring a big fight like this back to start the year, it's beautiful, and I'm excited now.
Would you class this as the biggest fight of your career so far? Obviously, you've had step-up fights to get you to the higher level, but in terms of, I guess, the name and things like that, would you class this as the biggest fight of your career?
Definitely, in terms of the competition he's been in the ring with. He's competed at a high level, so this is a big fight, and he's got a big Irish support, and it's going to be an exciting clash on Friday.
Your family name is synonymous with this city, and fighting here. How important is it for you to fight in this city and build that fan base and continue building it up? You fought in other places of the country and things like that, but I guess the old saying, there's no place like home, right?
That's right. In Brighton, there's a different buzz around the boxing. The boxing hasn't been something that people can come and look forward to here for a while, so to bring it back here is an amazing thing, and we're going to keep lifting that name high. That's continue upholding the Eubank family name and continue to leave a little mark on that legacy as well.
Is the dream to fight at the Amex one day?
100%, it's got to happen.
Talk to us about this fight against Tyrone. As you say, he's been in with a lot of experienced contenders, won some, lost some, but what do you think this fight's going to come down to?
Listen, he's always put in a solid performance against the guys at the highest level, so he's been in big domestic fights. He's always shown he's a real competitor, so that's exactly what we're expecting Friday, and I'm well prepared to go in there and put on a performance against him.
We know there's a IBF Intercontinental belt on the line, so that will get you, I guess, in a pretty good ranking with the IBF, where the champion's Tyrone Ennis. Where would this place, like a win over McKenna, what would that do for your career?
It's going to place me high in the IBF, and we'll be heading towards world title opportunity. So that's the plan. This is a big fight, and I'm fully focused on this. But I've got world title aspirations in the sport, and this is a big step I need to overcome on Friday to push on to them goals.
Are you the type of guy that looks at the rankings, looks at the guys in the division, and studies them, or do you kind of just take every opponent as they come?
I take everyone as they come. Everyone presents a different obstacle, and it's about refining your skills and developing as a fighter, and going in there and overcoming everything that they present, and that's what I'm about.
We know both of your styles. Do you think this can be only a fan-friendly fight on Friday?
I believe so. Tyrone always comes to fight. He's not coming to spoil. He's not coming to do anything other than, as he says, bring war. So that's what you can expect.
Do you get the impression that you can get him out of there, stop him?
I think I can get anyone out of there, but my focus is on going in there and putting on a solid performance.
I just spoke to Mick Condon, who's on the card, and he said, it's a tough one for him because he's friends with both of you, but still having him on the card must be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's having Mick back. Back in boxing is great. To be around the fight weeks, he's like my brother, so it's great to have him around the fight weeks and to be back on the card and back fighting again. I'm happy for him, and I'm excited for him as well, and to share a card, it's amazing.
As I'm sure everyone's asked you, I have to ask you about your cousin and Conor Benn, the press conferences. First of all, what did you make of the face-off slap with the egg?
A beautiful series of events. In terms of a multi-layered event, you're bringing back something and raising the right questions, that are easily forgotten in the sport. about inconsistencies that have obviously taken place, and Chris is always going to be the one that's there to remind people, and he just happened to do that with a slapped egg around the cheek.
He kept making the point in the press conference to kind of shut Eddie Hearn down and sort of make it all about him and Conor and things like that. What did you make of when he was doing that?
That's Chris's, I think Eddie sometimes does that to other people, so I think, Chris is one of the few people that can do that to Eddie, so he operated his choice to do that.
Yeah. And, as you'd expect, both of them sort of went back and forth, said various things. Obviously, Conor mentioned, your uncle and how, he's distant from Chris and things like that. What do you know about that situation? Do you expect him to be there on fight night?
I think whether he's there or not, they still have a good relationship. It's obviously, people want to prod and poke and try and insinuate things, but it's boxing. On some things you agree, some things you don't agree. But in terms of everything else, it's very separate from boxing.
Yeah. You also would have seen that Chris said during the press conference that he wanted to pay everyone who was on the undercard for the original fight a total of 50 grand between you lot. Has he been in touch to give you the money?
No, I don't know if he realizes that I was on the original card, so I need to send him an invoice. I need to make that clear and pull up the clip of him saying that, because he'll probably deny it unless I have the evidence.
Have you actually spoken to him since the presser about how it went? Or because I remember last time I asked you that, you were kind of like, we don't really talk about sort of boxing matters and things like that.
No, I think we've sent each other memes and stuff since then, but in terms of talking boxing, we don't really talk boxing unless he's got some advice to give me or something. It's pretty casual talk. Boxing's work, so we don't really talk about that.
And then just on the fight itself, Ben keeps saying that he thinks he's going to knock Eubank out within, I think, 4 to 6 rounds. What's your prediction on how the fight will play out, and how do you see it going?
I think it'll be a mismatch, just as much a mismatch as the pressers have been. It will be a similar format, playing out in the physical. Chris is way too much, and that will become evident as the rounds go on in the fight.
Any concerns about the weight and the restrictions and things like that?
I mean, Chris's last fight was at 168, so only he'll know how he feels at 160. Regarding rehydration clauses, I don't think there should be any rehydration clauses. Conor's openly said for the last 3 years he'll fight him at any weight, and when the fight gets real, there seems to be clauses being put in. So yeah, it's I don't know how he'll feel at 160. His last fight was at 168, so let's see.
Well, don't miss this man, Harlem Eubank, back in action this Friday at the Brighton Centre, live on Channel 5. Just final message, Harlem, to your fans and people tuning in. Why should they tune in on Channel 5 on Friday?
Hey, thanks for everyone supporting and coming to the event. Everyone that's tuning in live on TV, Channel 5, 10 p.m. Thank you for the support. It's going to be an explosive performance, so tune in, don't miss it.
There you go, Harlem, best of luck.
Thank you.